So the concept of stratified reproduction speaks to, quote, power relations by which some categories of people are empowered to nurture and reproduce while others are disempowered. This framework encourages us to interrogate the intersections of sexuality, race, and class, and to ask how assisted reproductive technology functions to reflect and reproduce existing racial hierarchies. For example, as Dorothy Roberts notes, despite a higher rate of infertility among African American women as compared to Euro-American women, African American women generally do not have access to assisted reproduction for a variety of reasons. There's the issue of high cost and the fact that it's not covered by insurance in many states, but also the issue of racial steering through diagnosis. Are they diagnosed as infertile, which allows them to take advantage of some of this technology? She asks, quote, what does it mean that white women disproportionately undertake expensive technologies that allow them to reproduce, and women of color disproportionately undergo procedures and medications to prevent reproduction? And on this subject, Iris Lopez, who you'll see chairing a panel later in the afternoon, has just come out with a wonderful book, which is a 25-year study of Puerto Rican women and sterilization and reproduction, called Matters of Choice, Puerto Rican Women's Struggle for Reproductive Freedom. My own research among African American women in Central Harlem sought to understand why African American women have higher rates of problematic birth outcomes regardless of their socioeconomic position, and why they fare worse than white women at every economic level, and why even college-educated African American women have twice the infant mortality rate of college-educated white women. We explored the environmental, educational, and health care impediments to reproduction and documented the ways in which women are active participants in trying to transform these conditions. Now, these studies and studies like them raise questions about the extent to which disparities in birth outcomes, for example, might be increased through funding medical procedures that can only be used by the wealthy rather than directing funds towards improving basic health care. In other words, they seek to clarify the racialized consequences of reliance on and investment in high technology in this area.